Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you are innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. Set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit. The warrant which led to your arrest will determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, I have a duo of assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this afternoon. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Emma Williams. Afternoon, Emma. What's your date of birth?
12/22/73.
Emma, the charge is retail theft. And it looks like you got a hold out of Pasco, too. State, is this something she can resolve here and move on?
She has some priors, and there may also be an issue out of state on it. She was given 2 years of probation for a shoplifting in 2019, so I don't know if that's going to...
From some other state?
From some other state. I have no idea how that plays, but...
Emma, are you on probation from some other state?
Not that I'm aware of. I moved back down here from Alabama a year ago.
It's not the sort of thing that you wouldn't be aware of. Okay. All right. Well, then, Emma, the charge is retail theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Myself.
Okay. State, what do you got?
Alright, so on the open Pasco stuff, she has adjudication in 2000 for petty theft, or looks like 2 counts of petty theft there. And then DUI out of state in 2011. And then a fraudulent check in 2012. And then a shoplifting, and I believe that's the basis for the probation out of state as well. Out of state, 2019.
Okay. Emma, I've got an address for you on Song Lane in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
It's a couple months.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I'm on disability.
Okay. I'm going to leave your bond at the $500. I'm going to have you back in court on March 6th. Very important that you're there, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Brooks Clark.
And Judge, his mother is present.
Okay.
Morning, Your Honor. Ron Lewis, representing the state. I'd ask to be heard at the appropriate time.
Right. Brooks, what's your date of birth?
September 10th, 2003.
All right, Brooks, we've got a number of issues for you here. The first is a warrant. Hang on. Signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for 6 counts in this one. There's a trafficking of drugs, possession and or sale of controlled substance, possession of marijuana with intent to sell, 2 counts possession of controlled substance, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. I have a second warrant signed by Judge Merritt that contains 1 count of aggravated battery, and a third warrant signed by Judge Merritt. There's 4 counts on this one: possession of controlled substance, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and no valid driver's license. probable cause for all those charges. To those charges, then, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I wanted to get a lawyer.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, what do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, we would just ask, the defendant has a minimal history. We would ask that the bonds remain as requested. The 220 was an existing juvenile case, and that was brought up. And when there's the aggravated battery, and when they went to the house to execute the search warrant, obviously they found the trafficking amount of drugs. So we would ask that the bonds remain as they are. I will be handling this case along with Ms. Giannini. Will be handling the drug charges.
Okay. Brooks, I had an address for you on Trinningham Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you still in school, or what's going on?
I'm at school at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Where's the 20? All right. Then, starting with case number 220, which, like I said, these are all warrants signed by Judge Merritt. We'll leave the bonds per the warrants on that case. It's controlled substance, marijuana, paraphernalia, and driver's license, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, and 500, respectively. All of these cases, Brooks, are coming back on March 3rd. March 3rd at 9 a.m.
And that would be Judge Toner?
If you want Toner, it's going to be
on the 11th.
It's a Judge Toner case.
So they go
3/11.
all coming back on 3/11. Sorry. And the second case, which is 221, the aggravated battery. Leave the bond per the warrant, which is the 2,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with the alleged victim. That one also coming back on the 11th in front of Judge Homer. And then finally in 222, the warrants are 25,000 on the trafficking, 2,000 on the 4 remaining felonies, and 1,000 on the one paraphernalia case. That's a total on that case of 34, 36, 38, $40,500 is your total all the way around. All of them coming back on the 11th of March in front of Judge Toner. If you're able to hire private counsel, make sure they know about those court dates and your bond amounts. All right. Thank you, Brooke.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You got other stuff, Rob?
I also have any others.
Yeah, let's do that while you're here. Yep, got it. Okay. All right. What was the other one, Rob?
Anthony Owens. It's a technical for night.
Anthony Owens. Good afternoon, Anthony. What's your date of birth?
7/14/03.
Anthony, you're here on 2 different warrants, both signed by Judge Merritt. The first one, he found probable cause for 1 count of fleeing to elude. And the second one, he found probable cause for 4 counts, attempted murder, carjacking, armed robbery, and a delinquent in possession of a firearm. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
No, sir. I'd like a lawyer appointment, sir.
Okay, you want me to appoint an attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll appoint the public defender and Mr. Lewis.
Your Honor, we would ask that the bonds remain as requested in the probable cause affidavits. He has a rather lengthy juvenile history regarding a lot of car burglaries and things of that nature. In 2017, though, there was a BPD case that came in as an attempted murder, was ultimately resolved as an aggravated battery with a firearm. So, obviously, we would request no change in the bond.
And Anthony, were you still in school, or what are you doing?
No, sir. I got withdrawal, sir.
Okay. And got an address for you on Timmons Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as to the Attempted murder, I'll leave that at 50,000. The carjacking at 30. The armed robbery at 50, and the felon or delinquent in possession at 10. It's 2,000 on the fleeing. That's a total all the way around of 142,000. They'll all be back on the 11th of March. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the public defender's office right away. If you can't get out, they'll come out to the jail to see you. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That concludes my business. May be excused.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Tyler Claiborne. Afternoon, Tyler. Date of birth?
July 10th, 1998.
Tyler, you got 2 counts of retail theft. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Represent myself.
Very good. State what you got.
He has no history on it. He didn't want an attorney or anything? I'm
No.
sorry. Okay.
Can he resolve them today? If he has no history?
Yeah, so I just need to make sure. I didn't get a chance to read it. I just want to make sure there's no restitution issues today.
I can always reserve on that.
Yeah, if we can just reserve a restitution, the state would be fine, just an adjudication.
Time served?
Yep.
Tyler, you can resolve both of these with time served, which in your case is 2 days. If you wanted to today, if you did that, there'd be a fine and court costs of $550 on each case. $100 one time for the 2 days in jail. And then I would reserve on restitution for 60 days. If any restitution was owed, the state would have 60 days to come up with that number, and you have to pay that. But if you take the time served this afternoon, these cases are done, and you don't have to come to court. No more jail, no probation. Is that something you'd like to do?
If at all possible, I'd like to get out today. I need to get this job that I have lined up.
Okay. Well, I can get you out today if you want to enter pleas to these cases. Is that what you want to do? Time served?
Yes.
Okay. You understand by entering pleas in these cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve these today? Yes?
No, I don't know. I've never done this before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So Tyler, here's I gotta have you understand or I can't do it. I want you to, I'm offering to you to plead no contest. If you do that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on both of these thefts. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the county jail, but you've already done that. Okay? So they will let you out today and these cases will be completed. There will be a fine and court costs on each one of $550 and $100 for the 2 days in jail. You'd have to get on a payment plan at the clerk's office for that if you wanted to do that. But the cases would be resolved. You wouldn't need to come back to court again. They're just taken care of with the 2 days time served. Is that something you'd like to do?
That sounds good to me.
Very good. So it's the charge of retail theft in each of these cases. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest, which means you're not fighting the charge. Did you want to plead no contest?
No contest, yes.
Very good. I'll accept that plea. Those pleas, find they're freely and voluntarily made. Adjudicate you guilty in each case. Sentence you to 2 days in the county jail in each case. Credit 2 days served in each case. Fine and court costs in each case is $550. On the first one, there's $100 cost of incarceration. I'll reserve restitution in each case for 60 days. That takes care of it, Tyler. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Michael Cochran. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
May 30, 1983.
I've got 3 charges, sir. I got battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting without violence, and disorderly conduct. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you got.
Dropped possession of paraphernalia, and it looks like marijuana in 2011. Some juvenile, but other than that, there's nothing.
Okay. Michael, I've got an address for you on Winthrop Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
It's in April last year, I'm thinking.
Okay.
So about a year.
Do you have a job these days?
I'm employed with my mother and her nonprofit organization.
What's that organization?
Alley Cats and Desert Dogs. We raise money for animals.
Okay. All right. On the battery charge, I'll set the bond at $1,000, on the 2 misdemeanors at $500 each, so your total is $2,000. I'll have you back in court on March 11th. Very important when you get out that you contact the public defender's office, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Matthew Fox? Matthew, what's your date of birth?
12/20/1984.
The charge is violation of injunction. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Private counsel.
Very good. State what you got.
In 2006, he was adjudicated for attaching a tag, not a sign. That's it.
And Matthew, I've got an address for you on Vancouver Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How long you been there?
3 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Not right now.
Okay. How long has it been since you worked?
A few months.
All right, Matthew, I'm going to set the bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you abide by that injunction, okay? We'll have you back in court on March 6th. Make sure when you speak to an attorney, you tell them about that date, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. March 6th.
March 6th.
Thank you.
Thanks. Heischen Forts? Morning, Mr. Forts. Date of birth?
9/10/68.
All right. We have that violation of probation warrant that we talked about yesterday. It was signed by Judge Toner. So as to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Represent myself.
All right. The bond on that, unfortunately, Mr. Forts, is no bond. I can't change it. We'll send you back to see Judge Toner on March 11th, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Glendon Hancock? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/16/85.
Glendon, the charge is child abuse. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself and hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
Hey, is an adjudication this year, actually, for resisting without and petty theft, drop petty theft in 2019, drop battery in 2017, dropped ag assault in 2012, 2 of those actually. Adjudication 2009 for violation of pretrial release, dropped ag battery and person using deadly weapon in 2008. And then you have PCI in 1999 for grand theft. And we then also did a one out-of-state 2015 burglary charge that was not disposed of.
Okay. And Glendon, I have an address for you on Old Ayers Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
And does Cheyenne live there too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I was in between.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Cheyenne. No contact means no well, I tell you what, actually I'm going to make a contact pursuant, I assume the Department of Children and Families is involved. So any contact will be pursuant to DCF, alright? So whatever they say
Sure.
the rules are, those are the rules, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Okay. I'll have you back in court on March 11th. If you get out, very important that you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Michael Mazur. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
6/18/79.
Sir, I've got 3 charges for you today: trafficking in methamphetamine, resisting without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself and hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
2018, he has withholds for possession of controlled substance and drive besides Willis, habitual offenders. In 2018, he's got a withhold for possession of controlled substance, adjudication for possession of marijuana less than 20 grams, and adjudication for no motor vehicle registration. And 2018 is adjudication for possession of marijuana less than 20 grams and possession of controlled substance. 2017, he has adjudications for possession of controlled substance, Willis, third or subsequent offense, possession of marijuana less than 20 grams, like possession of paraphernalia, and then adjudication for no motor vehicle registration. In 2016, he's got adjudication for Willis, second conviction, 2016, adjudication for possession of controlled substance and possession of paraphernalia. And 2016 also adjudication for battery, and actually 2 separate adjudications for battery in 2016. In 2015, he's got adjudication for possession of marijuana less than 20 grams, a drop battery, and she got 14. And then some more drug charges in the early 2000s as well.
Okay. Mike, I've got an address for you in Harmony Drive in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 6 months.
You have a job these days?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll set the bond on the trafficking at $5,000, $1,000 on each of the 2 misdemeanors. That's a total of $7,000. I'll have you back in court on March 11th. Very important that you see the public defender if you get out, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Guys,
Dean Morris.
Afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon. What's your date of birth?
January 6, 1969.
Dean, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for 1 count of aggravated battery. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I need the PD.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
As Your Honor, he's got an adjudication 2019 for trespass, adjudication 2013 for 4 counts of violation of a domestic violence injunction, adjudication 2013 for battery, second or subsequent, providing false name to law enforcement, criminal mischief, and felony battery by strangulation. He's got adjudication 2006, 3 counts of battery. 2006, he has a drops violation of pretrial conditions. In 2006, he's got 2 null crossed batteries. In 2004, he has adjudication on a battery. In 2004, he also has null cross charges for possession of firearm by felon and possession of paraphernalia. 2003 is adjudications for possession of firearm ammunition, stalking, and possession of firearm by felon. And he has some drug charges in 2000, but he also has, I think it's more relevant, he's got VOPs in 1992, 2000, yes, VOPs, and then he had a VOP in 2010 and 2012.
All right. And Dean, I've got an address for you now on California Street. Is that where you're living?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Since 2017.
Okay.
I got in prison.
And you have a job these days?
No, sir, no. I manage online accounts. I sell stuff online, but not really anything substantial.
I understand. Okay.
I was wondering if you could help me out with the bond a little bit.
Just a little. I'm going to set it at $10,000, Dean. Condition of the bond is that you not have any contact with Mr. Kubernat. We'll have you back in court on March 11th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away. If you can't get out, they'll come see you at the jail, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jose Ortiz. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
April 8, 1995.
Got 2 charges today. I've got a burglary with a battery and a criminal mischief. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
Or appoint the PD, state?
All he has is a withhold in 2019 for possession of paraphernalia.
That burglary charge, I'm pretty sure the car is under my name, so.
Doesn't matter. I asked you not to talk about the facts when we started, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Anything you say essentially is evidence against you, so you shouldn't talk about it, okay? All right. I have an address for you, sir, on Broad Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yeah,
How long have you been there?
like 7 years.
You have a job these days?
Hopefully.
Same, pardon me?
I said hopefully, yeah. As of now, yeah.
What do you do?
I stack crates. I'm a stacker.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000 on the burglary, $500 on the criminal mischief. That's a total of $5,500. Condition of that bond is that you'll have no contact with Francisco Madero Silvestri. We'll have you back in court on March 11th. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. George Osceola. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/8/1983.
All right, sir, you're here on a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. Looks like the probation originated in Glades County. So unfortunately, there won't be bond. I'm going to hold you without bond. We're going to notify Glades County that you're ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. If
Yes, sir.
you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Michael Rudy. Afternoon, Michael. What's your date of birth?
October 15th, 89.
Michael, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Merity, found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public Defender's Office, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date. I'll have you back on the 3rd of March. Public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. John Washington.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, John. What's your date of birth?
2/20/46.
All right, John, this charge now is a grand theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel, which is like the public defender.
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. And the open case he has, the defrauding, is that coming back 3-3?
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like it all kind of stems from the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the
I'm not
same.
sure they want to handle it. So.
Right.
Will we be able to run those consecutive?
What I'm going to do, John, is put them on the same date. It looks like the allegations all stem from the same incident. So I'm going to go ahead. What I'll do on this is I'll set the bond at 1,000, and I'll move it to the 3rd of March. That looks like where your other case is, and I'm sure they'll resolve them together for you. All right.
All right, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
That's it.
All right, have a nice day.
You too. And Jeffrey Weishorn. Jeffrey, what's your date of birth?
10/3/64.
Jeffrey, I got 2 charges today: driving on a suspended license and unregistered motor vehicle. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public Defender.
I'll appoint the PD state.
Yes, Your Honor. He has nothing in state. He has some out of state. 2004, unauthorized use of an auto vehicle, criminal trust, and a disorderly conduct. That there was adjudication for that in 2004.
Okay.
2005, he had adjudication for receiving stolen property and theft and receiving stolen property. Other than that, there's nothing.
All right, Jeff, I got an address for you on Montour Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long you been there?
I just moved there in December.
Okay.
And that's what the problem occurred here.
Jeff, let's not talk about it, all right?
Okay.
And then do you have a job these days?
Yes, and I got a real good job, and I'm in fear of losing it
Okay.
if I own.
Okay, what do you do?
I do custom woodworking, custom kitchens and bathrooms.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each count. Your total is $1,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 11th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you. Joe, that's all I got.
3/11.